California reserves the balance of her time. Gentleman from Florida.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's my pleasure to yield 5 minutes to a brilliant new member of this House who is already leaving a mark on Congress by facing the important issues of our day, Mr. Paulsen of Minnesota.
Gentleman from Minnesota is recognized for 5 minutes.
I thank the gentleman for yielding and appreciate his leadership as well. Mr. Speaker, I understand that my colleague from Florida will like to offer and will offer my legislation to help recoup the $165 million in taxpayer dollars that were paid out as AIG bonuses as part of the previous question. Mr. Speaker, when the latest unemployment figures came out and were released earlier this month, America saw its jobless rate soar to over 8.1%. That's the highest percentage that we have seen in over 25 years in the United States. This equates to approximately 12.5 million Americans who are currently out of work. And against this grim backdrop, AIG has announced that it intends to pay out $165 million in bonuses to its employees, with a number of those employees receiving more than $3 million. To date, $55 million in federal money has been used to pay AIG employees directly. Additionally, AIG expects to see total bonus payouts go to its financial products division and increase by nearly $15 million over the next year. Mr. Speaker, most troubling is that this $165 million comes directly out of the nearly $170 billion that U.S. taxpayers have given to AIG over the last 8 months. In only 8 months, $170 billion. In early March, AIG announced a corporate loss of nearly $62 billion. That's the single greatest quarterly loss in U.S. history of any corporation. And while Americans are struggling to put food on the table, wonder if they're going to be able to ever see the repayment of their investment in the companies that they're participating in. Companies like AIG are paying bonuses, which is the height of irresponsibility. This money belongs to the American public. It does not belong to the executives at AIG. So I, like my constituents, am shocked. I am shocked at the corruption, especially when AIG's actions come at the expense of America's public. To pay bonuses, which in some circumstances can be as high as $6.5 million, is really antithetical to what the U.S. government should stand for and the very reason the U.S. government was lending this money in the first place. Totally antithetical. So allowing AIG to spend taxpayer money on paying these bonuses can only be seen as reckless, incompetence. So the legislation will do three things. Number one, it's going to require that the Treasury Department recoup all of the bonuses that have been paid. Number two, no more excuses. It would require the Treasury Department and the Treasury Secretary to sign off on any future bonuses with his signature. And number three, it would require the Treasury Secretary to sign off on any future contracts as a part of any ongoing TARP legislation. That is where accountability is needed for the American taxpayer. Mr. Speaker, we were sent here by our constituents to bring accountability back to government and protect the taxpayers from reckless spending. I strongly urge my colleagues to do just that. They should vote no on the previous question. We have a chance to do this today, members. This is the issue of urgency today. This is nothing but bad government incompetence. It's not acceptable for the Treasury Secretary to throw his hands up in the air and walk away from this. Congress should act today. We should move forward and defeat the previous vote, no on the previous question, defeat the rule, so that we can consider this very important legislation. Now yield back.
Gentleman from Florida reserves the balance of his time. Gentlewoman from California.